What's up, everybody? Welcome to Between the Chalk, episode 1. It's 2022. We're going to do the NL betting preview tonight. I'm Trent Pruitt. My co-host is Noah Weinberg, and we're here to take you between the chalk, break down baseball for this upcoming season. So let's get into it, Noah.
Let's get into it. So let's dive right in, right? We got the NL West leading off. I'm a LA guy, right?
Exactly.
I look at the West, and without people thinking that I'm just going to be a homer, it has to be Dodgers by a billion. There's no other way to look at it. They have the best farm system in baseball, bar none. It's hands down. And even though they lost a handful of players here and there, they gained and they just retooled, reloaded, and they're just chalked up to have a really good season. I'm personally just a little saddened for the loss, or by losing Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, it's a tough
went to the Braves, but it was basically a clean swap, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got their first baseman. What's his name again?
That's the was it 2020 MVP, Freddie Freeman?
I think that's his name.
Yeah, Fred.
But if you think about it, the Dodgers got better, and they just have a sure thing in a rotation, in a bullpen, and in defense and offense. They are the safest bet out of any team. Their season total for this year, projected season total is 95 from win bets.
Right.
I'd say if you want to bet the over, you'd be safe. And not just safe, you could probably just make the bet, close your laptop, turn off your phone, and not look at that again, and just be like, you know what, they cashed.
Yeah, so I think they've won over 100 games the last 2 years. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that sounds correct. And for the most
division,
part,
9 straight years?
No, no, they didn't win last season.
Oh, right. Sorry.
We don't talk about that, though. That's okay.
But they're always up there at the top, 9 out of the last 10 years or something like that.
Exactly. It's the easiest bet in baseball.
I was pretty surprised that the total was only 95 there.
Right.
So I would agree with you.
I think the sports books are just hesitant to put a team as high as 100. The Dodgers are the best team in baseball. Mm-hmm. They have the highest projected win total, I believe. I didn't look at the AL East numbers.
Their 93 is the highest with the Yankees, I think, and 91.
Yeah. So exactly. So the Dodgers have the highest projected win total, and it's not even at 100. I think they didn't want to flirt with being incorrect in case Dodgers got hurt. They didn't want to.
Yeah, maybe some injuries or something.
Yeah, they're just playing to that. But I think for everybody who is not sharp trying to set the lines and do all that stuff, you can guarantee that the Dodgers are going to win over 95 games.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy one.
Even if it's just 96, it's going to be over 95.
Yeah. I agree.
Next, we got the San Francisco Giants, who did sign Carlos Rodon and Jock.
That's my guy.
But I mean, Jock didn't do too much in Chicago. Giants did lose Gossman.
Right.
So
year.
It's gonna be an interesting year. It's gonna be a different year. They don't have their the best catcher that they've had in the history of their franchise anymore in Buster Posey, which is a sad loss.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a step back. So that you have them finishing second in the division. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have them finishing second, easy.
Okay.
I know you say they're going to take a step back, but they have Joey Bart filling in, who was the number 1 overall pick. He is a stud, an absolute demon on the field. He's going to step into Buster Posey's position so well that I even have him as a Rookie of the Year favorite. So
really,
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if he's even in MVP discussions going on, and this is coming from a Dodgers fan. I hate to say this, but
that's big of you.
85.5 game projection. I think they clear that. They had 107 last season, and they lost maybe like three guys, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Because they were projected last year to win only 75.5, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
they came in, they sailed over that. They cleared it by 32 games.
Yeah, I mean, easy. I don't know what happened. Gabe Kapler, as soon as he left Philadelphia, it's not just a Ben Simmons thing,
Mm-hmm.
When people leave Philadelphia, maybe they start to do well. We still haven't seen Ben, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think they'll have a solid squad. They got Yaz going to be leading off.
Yeah.
Tommy Stella's fine. You know what you're going to get out of Brandon Crawford. So they'll be fine.
Yeah. And Belt will give you a number of good home runs. He'll be clutch for a couple months, have some off weeks, but for the most part, he'll be pretty good in there. I'm looking forward to a good season for them. I liked the competition. It was good to have the Giants and the Dodgers rivalry again. It was really good.
And those are fun games down the stretch to watch.
Right. And then coming in third, we have the San Diego Padres. I consider the Padres the most unfortunate team out there. They just lost Tatis. And the constant buzz of trade rumors around their top talent, the Padres are full of distractions, and it's guaranteed to get in their way.
Did you see that they just brought in Manaea? They just traded for Manaea to add to the starting rotation.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's a good
pickup. Then you also, what that does is it tells your young guys who were supposed to be your bread and butter, you guys had a really good farm system. They come up. You have Chris Paddock, who's the guy. You have Mackenzie Gore, who's waiting in the back. And all of a sudden, it's like nothing happens. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill average pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, like if Mackenzie Gore can figure it out, if he can actually come into the majors and pitch like a major league pitcher consistently, I think the Padres could be good. But I mean, that's one player. You have to have Yu Darvish pitch well, who
he's shaky. He's the definition of shaky.
He'll have Yu Darvish will give you maybe a month and we'll be like, oh my God, Cy Young candidate.
Yeah.
And then
the
rest of the time it's
the next month.
Hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
You could give up 7 runs in a game or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so there's some question marks there with their rotation as well. Plus, is any idea on Clevenger? Is he coming back at all this year? Later in the year, maybe?
Yes. Clevenger's for sure going to come back.
Okay.
He's going to come back, but you know who I'm also really looking forward to? CJ Abrams.
Oh, yeah.
CJ Abrams is going to be a rookie stud this year. I believe, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make the 40-man to start the season, which is going to be awesome. Given that Tatis isn't available and Kim is good, he's very serviceable as a shortstop. But CJ, if they can give time to CJ Abrams, who's already had a good spring training, if they can give him that early time to develop, and then they plug in Tatis and then maybe move CJ Abrams over to another position when Tatis is back,
right?
That just gives them that much more depth. And if CJ Abrams can figure it out, he's also another guy. I don't necessarily have him as my Rookie of the Year candidate, but he's definitely a guy to watch out for as being in that Rookie of the Year discussion.
Yeah, looks like he's third overall in the NL Rookie of the Year odds. That's plus 750.
Exactly. He's got the speed, he's got the defense, and he's I think this is his second or third year. He's really young.
Okay.
So he's going to be good.
Yeah, they'll have a solid squad. They brought in Luke Voigt as well.
Well, okay. You mean like that was what we thought with Hosmer. The Padres continue to spend money. They'll shell out all this dough to finish third behind a Giants team, just a scrappy Giants team, and the almighty Dodgers.
Try not to be so biased, please.
It's unfortunate. Like the Padres are just if the Padres played in the Central, I think they're one of the best teams. If they played in the American League West, they're probably the best team. If they played in the American League Central, they're probably top 2. But because they play in the NL West, they're third, and they're going to continue. They're going to continue to finish third.
That is crazy because they've been making some big moves over the last couple of years, and we'll see if it pans out. But you're saying it might not.
It's okay. Here's what I'll put it to. If the Padres have what it takes to get the job done, they just can't. There's too much. Like I said, there's too many distractions going on. It's whether it's San Diego, whether it's Machado, whether it's Tatis and the fact that MLB is now using Tatis as the main, like, picturesque, the main marketing point for
he's the future of baseball, right?
Exactly. He's the face of baseball. So that comes with a lot of pressure, right? Yep. So it's tough for the Padres. But yeah, I mean, like, I've already talked too much about the Padres. They don't need that much attention. They're going to finish third.
All right.
What's their number? Hold on. I'll tell you their number. 91.5. I'd probably say under.
Wow.
I'd probably say under. Now, what they score? What was their record last year? 79-83, and they think, and Wynn thinks that the Padres are going to get to 91.5 this year. They think they're going to finish second. No.
You don't see it happen.
No. What are you? You think
12 wins better, 13 wins better to get that over?
No. That is a lot of wins. That is a lot of wins.
Yeah, especially without the face of baseball.
Especially without the face of baseball and in the NL West. You have to face those guys 19 times a year.
Yeah, but you also get probably 30 to 35 wins against the bottom 2 teams.
Oh, I mean, okay. Well, fine. Let's get into those guys. Why not?
Get into those guys. Who do you got finishing fourth?
So, I actually have. Well, it's hard to say who I have finishing fourth. It's a toss-up. It's a complete toss-up. But here's what I'll go with. I'll start with the Rockies. The Rockies got Chris Bryant, and that concludes our Rockies talk for the episode.
All right, moving forward.
But in all seriousness, if the Rockies were at all serious about, like, getting Chris Bryant and thinking that means they're going to be better, they should have at least attempted to get Trevor Story. I think with Chris Bryant at third, Trevor Story at shortstop, I'm hard pressed to find a better left side of an infield.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. Give me some time, maybe.
It's just the Rockies, and all the Rockies fans will tell you this. It's just a comedy of errors. They're just, the Rockies' issue is that they're in the same division as the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, and the D-backs. If they were in the minor leagues, they might be able to compete. They might be able to put out a competitive product. But they continuously field mediocre product, They show their fans that they're not really trying, and then they sign Chris Bryant without getting their homegrown product of Trevor Story. Pay the guy. He's kind of your guy. But
right, yeah, he is your guy. He's
but,
supposed to be the face of the franchise. You might as well try and keep him around.
I like to think back to when the Rockies had Tulo and Holiday.
Yeah,
and just messed that up. And
it seemed like they always mess it up.
It's continuously they get.
You really have to strike
like
while the iron's hot, because you got, like you said, you got the Dodgers, who are always spending money. Yeah. Padres they'll spend it when they want to. If the D-backs, they're always horrible, but they were decent, 2, 3, probably 4 years ago at this point.
They were in the wild card, right?
Yeah. So you really have to time it up nicely and go and make a run at it. And
everything has to go really right for you in the NL West if you want to win, if you want to advance.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about the D-backs, it's weird to say that the D-backs did well this offseason, but they did.
Yeah.
They added a lot of pieces that are perfect trade deadline acquisitions for playoff contenders. Mark Melanson, enjoy Arizona, enjoy him until June, July.
Yeah, he'll be around for half the season.
Half the season, he's gone. Maybe you might even less, depending on how good your GM is. It is going to be. I mean, your season is going to be a development year again. But one good thing about Arizona, you guys got the number 3 ranked farm system in baseball right now.
Is that right?
I think if you look at other teams around the league, I think the D-backs at this position right now are similar to the White Sox of yesteryear, when all of your prospects were just knocking at the door, about to come up, and you guys weren't doing too hot. You guys were still finishing at the bottom of the league, bottom of your division.
Mm-hmm.
But the
hope's there.
Yeah, the hope was there, and you could taste it. And I think the D-backs are close. And that's weird to say, given that they won 52 games last year. I don't think that this is the year, but I think that in a couple years, if they continued this trend of retooling with trade pieces, mid-season trade pieces, I think the D-backs are on a trend to do some really dangerous things, and it's gonna catch the league by storm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Madison Bumgarner at the top of the rotation there. I feel like they may just burn it all down and trade him, trade Ketel Marte, trade Peralta.
I don't think they're going to trade Ketel Marte after just re-signing him.
Oh, you don't believe him? You don't think so?
No. Ketel's staying there. Ketel would be a guy who they trade. If they do trade, it will be at the end of his contract, similar to what they did with Goldie.
Okay.
So they're going to use Ketel. Ketel's one of the best. Ketel might be the best or second best second baseman in the league, offensively at least.
Yeah, he's up there. He's a stud.
So you take that into consideration with David Peralta, who is getting older, yes, but still has some life in him and still has the life of the team. You got a great coach in Lovello. So if the D-backs can figure it out, it's going to be fun. I hope
so, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't hope so, because I like the tickets are so cheap, so I can go to a lot of games.
That's probably not going to – that probably won't change. The D-backs consistently, they love to be the cheapest ticket in baseball.
Yeah.
It's one of their pride and joys.
Well, let's hope it stays that way at least.
Right? Should we move on to the Central? Wait, hold on. Let's say the Rocky. We didn't give the Rockies and the D-backs totals.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Rockies are at 71 projected total. If you want to bet your life savings on the under, I wouldn't say responsibly that that's a good idea.
So you
but maybe
you're leaning over.
Maybe $100 on the under.
So you're going under, but just not with your life savings.
My model, my computer model that is right here.
In your brain,
it's created a projection where they win anywhere between like 68 games and 63 games.
Okay. So you think Vegas is right on top of it?
Yeah. So Vegas is at 71.
Okay.
So I have them under in my computer model.
In your computer model brain. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the D-backs are at 65.
65, yeah.
I don't see them improving 13 wins.
That's tough to see.
You?
No, I don't. Plus, I don't know. I think they're going to be selling some of these guys. Maybe not Marte. You made a decent argument there about the contract, but I don't know.
I know they will be selling the guys. That's for sure.
I can see Peralta on the move. But
yeah, I don't see them winning more than 65 games. I'd say their max is probably around like 63, 64.
Yeah.
But that's like if everything goes right and they win like they play their best, which sucks.
Yeah. That sucks to say. Even if they play their best, they're still going to lose 98 games.
Yeah, right. Sorry, D-backs.
Oh, man. That's unfortunate. All right, let's go ahead and move to the Central here. I'll go ahead and start this one off.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I got the Brewers finishing at the top of the division. Their win total is at 88.5. They're minus 175 to win the division. I'm going to lay the chalk there. I like minus 175 for them to win the division. As for the win total, I think I didn't write it down. So I think they might sneak over there and take the over on 88.5 wins. Just because, I think the Central is kind of a down year, and we'll kind of dive into these teams here. But I just wanted to get that bet out there right off the start.
Last year the Brewers won 95.
Did they really get that high?
So you think that Woodruff and Burns come out again and just shove? You don't think that they get figured out?
Maybe Burns takes a little bit of a step back, but I think Woodruff's kind of Brandon Woodruff's pretty much proven himself. He's kind of a top of the line guy. Not top of the line, but he's a good number 2 guy.
And you like the McCutchen addition and the Renfroe in the outfield?
Yeah, I think that kind of helps just kind of round out the whole lineup there. So they're going to have, these guys, well, we can go through the whole lineup here. They just have, I feel like they have the most middle infielders that you can have because they got Colton Wong. They picked up Willie Adames last year midseason.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. A raised blue
pickup. I thought I wrote it down here. It's going to kill me. They got that guy from the Padres a couple years ago. That's going to kill me. Luis Urias.
Urias, yes.
Yeah. They have Keston Hiura.
Keston Hiura.
He can play middle infield, but he's been getting some time at first base as well.
Keston Hiura was really good right when he came into the league, and then kind of panned out. But even when he panned out or bottomed out, it wasn't bottoming out. It was more like coming back to reality, and his reality was really still really good. It was
plus he's still young,
Yeah, exactly. It could only get better. And he's from my area too.
He's a California guy, right?
Yeah, he's Southern California. He's I think it's like Valencia area, which is a couple miles away from him.
Okay, we like that.
You gotta like it.
Yeah, they added a little power to it. I think it was at the trade deadline last year. Picked up Rowdy Tellez. So I think in a Central division that's not very dominant, let's say it's probably the worst division maybe in baseball, if we're being honest. Or no,
top to bottom. You call it you could probably say it's the worst division. Yeah, I was trying to be nice. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. The Reds sold everybody. They're going young. The Pirates are the Pirates.
Yeah,
that's other than the top 2.
Right. So I think they'll excel in the division, but once it comes time for playoffs, I think they're right there.
I mean,
I think if
their
they would have went
bullpen,
out, go ahead,
their bullpen
is stacked.
Stacked. You got like Hader is the consensus number one reliever.
Yeah, he's a stud.
And then you have Devin Williams, who was a breakout guy last year.
Mm-hmm.
Cheddar, tons of chalk.
He's sick.
He's a baller.
So much chalk.
So much chalk.
He is sick, dude. They got is it Brad Boxberger, right?
I mean, you talk about Boxberger, I guess he's like kind of had like a comeback, but I still remember him from Arizona and what was that? Kansas City, and you could go down the list, but like just these failed experiments with Boxberger. So
yeah, for sure. But he's rebounded a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Brewers. I think I like the over as well. And I don't know if I hammer the division win.
You think the Cardinals can catch him?
I think I like the I do like the Cardinals, and I think I like the Cardinals because I like their bullpen a little more.
Okay. Well, last note here on the Brewers, then we'll move to the Cardinals. I just would have liked to see the the Brewers go out and spend a little money, because I feel like they're right there. If they would have went out and gotten maybe like Eduardo Rodriguez, or maybe, I don't know if they'd break out the checkbook for Robbie Ray or Kevin Gossman, but
I mean, do you think they were even, they had to have called.
Yeah,
there's
but
no way they didn't call.
I'm sure the agent laughed him off the line once they presented their
right.
offer.
But I mean, you also have to think that Milwaukee's not a hot spot destination.
Sure.
And
no, I'll have to take you out to a tailgate at I think it's American Family Ballpark nowadays, but they get rowdy up there.
I'm sure. Or is that they get rowdy Tellez up there?
They get rowdy Tellez up there.
I mean, I've heard, but I mean, it's an American Family Ballpark, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yep. All right, that's enough Brewers talk. That's enough for our crew.
Exactly.
All right, so St. Louis Cardinals, they're at 84.5 for the win total, and then plus 230 to win the division.
I like that.
You like the over there?
I love the over. I have them winning. I think they're going to win the division. And if that's their over, they won 90 games last year. And Paul Goldschmidt didn't have the greatest season. Neither did Arenado. So I think they only get better. I think they only get more cohesion and togetherness, and they only become a better team. You have Tyler O'Neill, who's a freaking beast.
He's high up on the MVP odds. I didn't expect to see him that high up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I know I saw him up there.
And the plus sign, the plus 230, cha-ching. Yeah.
That's worth the risk.
I think that's worth the risk. And not to mention that Steven Matz is one of those guys who, if he figures it out, easy Cy Young candidate.
Yeah.
Dark horse Cy Young candidate to the T.
That's just how I feel about a lot of these guys, though. The Cardinals are kind of just rolling the dice. Like, who knows what we're going to get out of 41-year-old or 42-year-old Wainwright at this point.
Wasn't it you who was – I think it was last year you and I were talking about Wainwright, and I was just talking smack. I was like, this guy's washed. And now I have the Cardinals winning, and it's opposite. You're like, Wainwright's washed.
I'm not saying he's washed. I'm just saying there might be a little bit of a question mark surrounding a 41-year-old guy coming into this season, but he's a competitor. So I like him. I hope that it pans out, but
we'll see. I mean, but truthfully, their bullpen is what gets me giddy. Mm-hmm. Those guys at the end of the season were as sure of a thing as it gets. It was shutout inning after shutout inning, 0 ERA. It was consistent. You got Jordan Hicks, who throws 100 miles per hour, over 100, high 90s low hundreds. Alex Reyes does the same thing.
Yep.
That bullpen is all young, just full of these guys who aren't household names yet.
Yeah, and they will be.
Exactly.
Was Alex Reyes was a rookie last year, right? Didn't he like go 23 or 24 straight saves?
It was insane.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him. I like the card, so I hope they compete.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think the offense? What do you think about the offense?
I think the offense, man, it's not like I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. I feel like Busch Stadium is like where offenses go to die. So like all these guys kind of have lower numbers. It's more of a pitcher's ballpark. Let's just go ahead and say, which kind of deprives us of getting Goldie and Arenado in their golden years. Strips us of that as fans, seeing their offensive production, but that's all right. Overall, I feel like we're going to be relying on Dylan Carlson's going to kind of be like, if he can take that next step, then yeah, this team's going to be elite,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Carlson has the potential to be that guy for sure.
Yadier Molina, he's one of those guys that can kind of hang around. He's not the slugger like Miguel Cabrera, but I compare him to him just because he can kind of, poke it out there and pretty much put the ball wherever he wants it to go on the field. So I think he'll do all right. He'll contribute, but I don't know. It's a little bit of a question mark, just it's not like it's not a solid thing.
Yeah, I agree. Although they have the sure guys like the Goldie, the Arenado, they're role guys. Like there's a reason why it seems like the Cardinals are always like scratching and crawling into the playoffs, right?
Right.
They seem to not be able to put it together at a consistent pace.
Yeah, they like to play in like 2-1 ball games, 3-2 ball games. Like let's grind it out, play defense, and
yeah, exactly. And then when they do, it seems like it seems like the Cardinals either have those really like low scoring ball games, or it's insane, like it's a 22-18 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's how Cardinals games I feel like those go. So yeah, overall, I think hammer the over on the 84.5.
Yeah, I think you convinced me. I like him to get at least 85 wins.
Especially, I don't know about winning. Like Flaherty is a guy who's hurt right now, but he's going to come back and he's a stud. And it's only looking up for the Cardinals. Yeah. What's their farm system at?
Oh, I don't know. You got a link for that?
Yeah, I got you right. They're at 13 this year.
Okay.
So it's actually filled with a bunch of high ceiling guys apparently. But they have like Nolan Gorman. They have Zach Thompson. These guys are showing potential.
Okay.
So I like the Cardinals. I like the over. I like the plus 230, but I don't know about like a future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to go too far. Now, and then the last thing, of course, just out of respect, Albert Pujols making the return. You on board with that?
I love that.
Yeah,
that's very similar to what we had over in Kansas City with Drinky. It makes my heart warm.
Yeah, I like to see it as well. Hopefully you get some ABs and maybe at least can mentor some of these guys.
Right? Maybe now we just need to bring Prince Fielder back, even if he's just hanging out around the.
Now that I think about it, was Busch Stadium always a pitcher's park? Because it seemed like Pujols had his way with that stadium.
Exactly. I didn't want to bring that up, but I don't know if they made any adjustments or something. But
they actually did move stadiums, I think, in like 2013. So
that makes sense.
All right.
That's about when he signed with
the Halos, right? 2012, I think, or something.
The Angels love that one, don't they?
Man, that's a tough contract for them. All right, let's go ahead and move forward here.
Yeah.
So I have the Cubs finishing third in the Central. I think I'm pretty chalk on my picks here in the Central. But I have the Cubs finishing third, 75.5 wins. I think I like the over there. And then they're plus 1,100 to win the division.
So the Cubs last year won 71 games. I like them to win 74, or I like them to win 5 more. But I think that it is going to be tough.
Yeah.
I think it's not going to be easy for a team like that with a bunch of new players, a bunch of new talent to do what they're trying to do. They have a bunch of young guys who they brought in, and it just doesn't make any sense why they think that they could achieve like this great success with this team.
Right.
But I do see what they're trying to do. And
I think at this point, they're just trying to put out a competitive squad.
Yeah. I think they're doing that. I think they're showing the fans that, hey, we're at least trying, which is all they can do.
Yeah, it's they're in a tough spot here, and they're obviously not going to go far in the playoffs, but I do think that.
What'd you say?
I said I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs.
You think they're going to make the playoffs?
I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no
so
shot.
Thanks for catching me on that.
Yeah. If the Cubs make the playoffs, I don't want to make a bet because I think there's a chance. We don't know. These the Suzuki guy. Do you know anything about him? All I've heard is he could be a stud.
I just see him dropping bombs in spring training.
So you never know. Maybe he's a Chris Bryant-esque type of guy. He takes over the league, comes in rookie of the year, MVP.
It would be sick.
That would pump Chicago up. You got an AL team, you got an NL team. Oh my, that would be fun.
I kind of hope that it pans out for him.
Yeah, I mean, just for the sake of it,
just for the rivalry. Yeah, just so
that would be fun.
It's a little more exciting when the White Sox beat up on them.
And you got Wisdom, who's a baller.
Yeah, Patty Wisdom.
Swindle, who's also these guys who are just out of nowhere. You got Ortega. Last year, these guys are just pimping balls. It doesn't make sense. It was when it was Giants when Joe Panic came out of the blue. It's the same vibes.
Yeah.
When Joe Panic made a storm, made his mark in the league, it's the same type of vibes as that. Wisdom's here, Ortega's here, Swindle's here. They're all here to make their mark.
Yes, we'll see how it goes with them. They got Nick Madrigal as well. That guy's gonna slide in at second base. He's gonna hit 300 for the whole.
Wasn't he White Sox?
Yeah, So I don't know if you're just messing with me by asking that or not, but are you?
Yes.
Yeah. So we traded Craig Kimbrell for him and Cody Hoyer, a relief pitcher. And that trade at this point is not really working out for us.
I mean, you guys have AJ Pollock now.
So eventually we got AJ Pollock, but we took the long way to get an AJ Pollock. So I don't know, but Madrigal's a guy, he's going to hit like 290 to 300 for his whole career. He doesn't strike out. He's going to be a mainstay at second base for them for a while.
I like the guy. Hopefully he can just figure out some power,
No, he's not going to hit for power ever, probably. He's a small guy.
Hey, D. Gordon could do it.
Yeah, maybe he'll knock a couple out. Their rotation, it's okay. Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, they added Stroman. There's already talks about Stroman getting dished at the deadline in Chicago.
I mean, that another one of those guys, which sucks because I'm sure he would love to be on a team and stay on a team. And I'm sure like most of these guys would.
Yeah.
But he's very vocal and active on social media as well.
Very active on social media.
So you just see it and you're like, this guy should probably be on a team and kind of be more of a franchise type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he just constantly moved, and I wonder why. maybe it's just because of his play. What do you think?
Because of his play?
Yeah, you think it's just because he's not very good?
I don't know. I think he's fine.
I think he shows a lot of promise. I don't know why they keep moving him.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seems like kind of one of those guys that maybe you could slide in there at a deadline, like in your third spot in the rotation.
I mean, I understand as a general manager from a team perspective why you would move him, but from a player standpoint, just wanting him on a team, I just kind of want to see him stay on a team. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd like to see him stay on a team as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's the Cubs. Maybe it's not.
Other than that, they added Wade Miley this year. He's coming off a career year. He pitched well with the Reds last year. So if they want to hit that over on 75.5, he'll have to pitch well. He's going to be on the IL to start the season, but that's about it for the Cubs.
Yeah. What do you think about the Reds?
So the Cincinnati Reds, like you already mentioned there, they're pretty much, I guess, not really selling. Well, maybe they're selling all their talent, but they got rid of Castellanos. They sent Winker and Suarez out to Seattle.
Yeah.
They lost Sonny Gray and then Wade Miley, like we just touched on. Mm-hmm. So kind of a fire sale over there in Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, they only have, what is that? Votto's their guy.
Yeah. Votto's still their guy. Mike Moustakas, who's had injury issues, for the last few years, I feel like. They added Tommy Pham and Colin Moran. Colin Moran was with the Pirates. He's a bit of a slugger.
Yeah, but if you're gonna did they sign Moran or was that a trade?
I don't remember any trade news. So my guess would be that
he just signed.
That's my guess.
Okay, because I was thinking, how much must the Pirates think of Colin Moran if they're going to trade him to a division rival, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like he signed, so
that would be my guess.
Yeah, he I although the Reds are not that their best version of the Reds, I love India.
Yeah.
Jonathan India is a stud.
He's a spark plug. He
is a guy. He's the dude. And then you have Senzel.
Yep.
And you have Farmer. Farmer has been in the league for a little bit, but he continues to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. Naquin's also one of those guys who could have a good month and a half, good 2 months. So
yeah. So they got some role guys, some fringe guys. You know what they could really use?
Yeah, and then
Castellanos.
Yeah, but no Castellanos.
Yeah, no Castellanos.
But they do have a potential rookie of the year.
Is that right?
That is right. Hunter Green. So
he's in the rotation, right?
I have him as one of those guys who, if he might not start out hot. He might go like the first 2 or 3 appearances and give up some runs. But get him warmed up, get him in a groove. That guy could be dangerous. I see him being one of those guys where he gives up 1-2 runs an outing maybe.
Really?
And he strikes out like 8. And it's just consistent. He goes 7. He's just a chucker. And he's got some speed. He's got accuracy. And all we just need to do is put it together. And what is it? I think it's like plus 900 for him to win.
NL Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's plus 1,000. Even better.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I kind of don't mind those odds,
Could be worth a shot. Now, okay, so he is going to be sliding into the starting rotation here. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Now,
last I read, it was iffy whether he was going to be filling in immediately in that rotation.
It looks like Luis Castillo is on the IL to start the season, so maybe he'll slide in there.
There we are.
That's his chance.
Perfect.
And it looks like I didn't know he was the second overall pick in 2017. So
Yep.
We'll see.
And he's a Valley kid too.
I know. Yeah, I see that here. Los Angeles. He's your guy out of Notre Dame.
Maybe that's a trend. Maybe I need to start looking outside of LA.
Maybe you could reach out to him, get him on the podcast since he's.
Maybe I don't know. Who knows if they the MLB condones talking about betting?
Probably not.
But their total is at 74.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's one game less than the Cubs.
I like the under.
I think I like the under too. What was their total last year?
I think they were
83. But they sold. So they don't have Castellanos. And I bet Castellanos makes up for at least 5. Suarez probably getting rid of Suarez probably gained them at least a win or 2.
And they had a horrible bullpen last year, and I don't think it got much better. I think they added Hunter Strickland. Yeah. Lucas Sims is fine. But
isn't he hurt?
I think he is hurt to start the year. So
I like the under. I like the under as well, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of like right around 74.
Yeah, I think it's a good number.
I'd probably stay away from betting Red season total.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had to, under.
I like the under quite a bit just because their rotation isn't very good. They lost kind of some of their bigger guys with Suarez and Castellanos.
Yeah, but this is the exact type of situation that a team decides to just say, hey, you know what? Screw, we're just going to win one for the boys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you like to see them break out those sleeveless shirts where they got the guns showing and let's go win some games for the boys, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm picturing. What was his name? Oh, my gosh.
Tucker Barnhart?
Yes. Oh, just the catcher just in there with his
shredded up. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's head over to the cellar where we will meet the lovely Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm repping the Pirates sweater here. We're not going to be very good this year. Total set at 65.5 and they're plus 5,000. So 50-1 to win the division. I would not bet that.
I would not bet the division. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, do not bet the division.
But
do you like the over?
Unless they get rid of Reynolds, Brian Hayes is going to have his first full season.
Yeah.
Kevin Newman's not too bad himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their bullpen is not good. Their pitching is not great.
Not good, yeah.
But I think that 65.5 is more than they won last year.
It is, yeah. They won 52 and 110 last year.
I think, are you sure? No, I think last year they went 61 and 101.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I was thinking Orioles, I think, were 52, and the D-backs.
But, yeah, the Pirates, they won 61. They're slated to win 65, according to Win Bets. I would probably say they win slightly over 65.
Okay. Is that our first disagreement?
It might be our first disagreement other than the Brewers Cardinals.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think I really like the Pirates to finish over. Okay. Here we go. If this is it, this is one of those bets where if the Pirates end up selling their team,
yeah,
like if they get rid of Reynolds, I think there's no shot they get to 65. No shot in hell.
No
But
chance.
if they keep Reynolds, I say they get to 67, 68.
Okay.
Once again, one of those bets where I probably stay away from it. But if we have to bet it, if our life depends on it, gun to my head, I like the Pirates over.
Okay.
I hate to say it. That makes me sick.
Yeah, I like the under because even the same thing. I like the over last year for the Pirates, but then they actually played. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they played well, but they played well enough to hit the over. But then they dished Adam Frazier, a few other guys as well. I think moved out of there. So then the under ended up coming in. I feel like it could be a similar thing this year.
Yeah, I'd believe you. That sounds about right for the Pirates.
So
They just sell, get some money,
yeah,
and call it a day.
Yeah, it's oh man, don't even get me started on the ownership there. You know
No.
what I heard like a week or two ago that geez Christ. Mark Cuban was interested in buying the team a little while ago. But
Wow.
they didn't want him to buy the team because they didn't want him, I guess, trying to make them compete. You know, that's a whole issue.
That makes sense. That sounds very Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah, we could probably spend a whole episode talking about issues in baseball.
Exactly. Which we will. Stay tuned.
Which we will.
But I think we should move on to the NL East.
Yeah, let's wrap it up with the NL East.
The division of champs. It feels like most of the season series between these teams are going to come close to like 500.
Yeah.
I have the Mets winning the. Oh no, actually, that's not true. I lied. I have the Braves winning the East. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. I have the Braves winning the East.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
But
that's fair.
I mean, like, it sucks that they lost Freddie Freeman. It is going to be tough to replace that. Wait, no, it's not. They won last year without some guy named Ronald.
Yeah. Mr. Acuna Jr.
That's just insane. They are projected to win 88 games this year.
Yep.
They won 88 games last year.
Yeah, 88 and 73.
I think you could probably say they're going to win more than that.
I think I'm with you there as well. Just because, yeah, it's like simple math, right? Like you won 88 last year, you swap out Freeman for Matt Olson, and you bring Acuna back. I mean, the math checks out. You'll probably win.
Math checks out. I think I compare this Atlanta season to the Giants of last year in the sense that they're going to easily clear their over. They're going to win close to 100 games, 104 games.
Wow.
They're going to easily win the division. They're going to easily win the divisional round, and then they're going to lose to the Dodgers in the CS.
No bias, right? That's just
no bias whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
You heard it here first.
Now, do you think they're going to run away with the division?
Run away.
Really?
Hands down. I think it's not even. I think there's going to be a situation where in beginning middle, it's kind of a 3-team race. You have the Phillies in there, you have the Braves, and you have the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves are going to go on a run where if you have 14 games, the Phillies are going to go like 10-4, maybe 9-5. The Braves are going to go 12-2.
Yeah.
They're going to lose one game here or there. They might lose back-to-back, and then they won't lose again for a while. And it's just what the Braves do. They have a really good team. They keep bringing back their guys. They have Acuna and they have Albies on the most team friendly deals known to man. these guys deserve to be paid like superstars, and they're paid like
Albie's got robbed.
Yeah, it feels like they got robbed. Granted, compared to their rookie deals, they're getting paid very handsomely. But they deserve to be paid more. I think other than the Dodgers bet, I think this is probably one of the easiest.
That's your favorite one, huh? Over 88 for the Braves.
Yeah, over 88 for the Braves. And I don't have the division odds on me, but I'd say hammer the division odds too. Even with the Mets doing what the Mets did this year, the Mets is still the Mets, as Juju Smith-Schuster kindly said about the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. The Mets is the Mets. You're starting the season without DeGrom, right? You signed Scherzer and Bassett, but Scherzer is one of those guys who he likes to go deep into games, which is great. You know, he's got that fire, that passion. He's a stud. He's a Cy Young candidate. Consistent.
He's one of the last ones that likes to actually go out and throw 7 or 8 innings.
Exactly, but that hurts a guy at his age. He's not going to be able to give you a full season at that pace.
Mm-hmm.
So you look and you think, okay, then what do they have? They have Bassett, they have Carrasco, sure. And then they have DeGrom, but DeGrom, he's starting the season hurt. And then they're giving him a month off. And then once that month comes back, once that month is done, then he's going to start throwing in there, or they're actually going to look at his arm again.
Yeah.
And then he's going to maybe, if it's good enough to throw, then he's going to start to throw, and then he's going to ramp up, and then he's going to have to do simulated innings and simulated everything. And so it's going to be a while until the Mets get him back. And then even when they get him back, there's no guarantee that he's going to be healthy. This guy's been hurt. This guy's been hurt a lot recently.
Seems like every year.
Every year. And so they have Scherzer, who's been hurt. They have DeGrom, who's been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Bassett, I think, has had a couple injuries. They have Edwin Diaz, believe it or not, is one of the guys who I'm looking forward to this season because I hope to God he has a good season. I think this is the year. But, if he can't figure it out, they're only going to be able to rely on their offense. And their offense can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
Their offense is one of the only sure things that they have. But
so I got those odds up here. It looks like Braves plus 120 to win the division.
Yeah. Hammer.
And then I guess we'll kind of just loop in the Mets as well here. They're plus 200.
Yeah, I mean, I think that seeing that Atlanta is still favored in that situation, I would still bet Atlanta. I think the Mets made a lot of progress, but Mets is still the Mets.
They're still the Mets.
They are still the Mets.
They're like one of my favorite franchises just to see always figure out a way to blow it.
Yeah, it's
the hype is always.
One of my really good friends is a Mets fan, and I always give him shit because every year I see what their projected win total is, and I'm like, hey, you want to make a bet? And he's like, no, screw you, Noah.
He already knows what you're going to say.
He already knows what I'm going to say.
And then, while we're on the Braves here, I pulled up their bullpen here. It's sick. It's got your guy, Kenley Jansen.
Yes.
Will Smith.
Yes.
They got Colin McHugh coming over from the Rays.
Yes.
Tyler Matzek.
Yeah.
And AJ Minter. They had both of those guys last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Braves have every piece that they need to make a deep run into the playoffs.
Plus, they have Toussaint, who's going to be coming out of the pen as well.
Tuki Toussaint, yeah, but I mean,
he's still a name. He's not crushing it, but
I guess he's just a name. But if you want to talk about names, you talk about Soroka, who
I think he'll be back in August, correct?
Yeah, and then you have Fried.
Yeah, Fried's going to be
Morton.
Chaz Morton.
Yeah, exactly.
Ian Anderson.
Yeah, those are names. Those are names.
Those are good names. Yeah,
those are good names. Tuki Toussaint is a name that makes me go like, really, dude.
Tuki's going to be like the 20
Tuki right now.
He'll be the 28th guy on the roster, and he'll get some middle relief innings. But
yeah, exactly.
But he's still a guy.
Yeah, he's still a guy. And then I guess coming in third. Oh, I mean, let's talk about the Mets bullpen really quick, because all I have is Diaz and Lugo. And I think that's all that really matters, because if either of those two guys can figure it out, I think that they'll be okay.
But Diaz, they got Adam Ottavino as well.
They do have Adam Ottavino, you're right. But he's had some off years. He hasn't been the same since, what was that, Boston?
Yeah. Was he with Boston last year, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, he was with Boston. Where was he? Where did he have his really good year?
He was with the Yankees. Then he was with Colorado before that.
Yankees. Right? It was the Yankees that he was really good. And then he was with Boston last year. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Yankees, he was a stud. And then since then, he's just been traded around trying to recapture that fire, and just hasn't been
he's
able to.
Modern day Kenny Powers getting traded around the league.
Exactly.
At least they got rid of Familia. That guy was horrible.
Yeah, he just kind of threw hard.
Where's he at? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I lost. If you
with,
told me that he was still in the Mets, I would have said sure. If you told me that he wasn't on the Mets, I would have said sure. He's with
the Phillies, where I'm sure where we'll be going next, correct?
Exactly. And let's start with their bullpen. The Phillies, for years, loved to retool their bullpen in the offseason. And they would just get hurt right off the bat in the season, and their whole season would be chalked. It'd be no good, gone, because all they would have is a decent hitting, which is what they brought back from the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had their pitching their starting pitching was always pretty good, consistently.
Yeah.
But their bullpen has always been an issue.
It's always been towards the bottom of the league.
And what sucks, I don't think this year is going to change.
Yeah, I don't see too much promising stuff here. Corey Knebel, right?
Yeah, Corey Knebel, who's good, but injury prone.
Brad Hand, serviceable.
Injury prone.
But after that, Familia. Jose Alvarado, he was on the Rays. Is that correct?
Yes, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
But he also injury prone.
Looks like, there's a big red cross next to his name, so I assume he's injured right now.
So this is the Phillies' problem. You have studs in Wheeler, in Nola. You have studs in Gregorius, in Real Muto, in Bryce Harper, the MVP for a reason.
Yep.
Castellanos,
Schwarber joining the
Schwarber,
crew.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna hit some nukes.
Their offense is not going to be an issue. It's the same thing with the Mets. Offense is not going to be an issue. It's the pitching that's going to be an issue. Besides for the Braves, this whole entire division, if the pitching can't figure out, the teams are going to be chalked.
Yeah.
It's the Braves are the only team that if the pitching isn't in, if one part of the pitching isn't doing well, there's going to be other facets of the game that adjust and figure itself out, where you can't say that for the Mets necessarily, and you definitely can't say that for the Phillies, because they don't have the defensive prowess and they only have really the offense, the starting pitching. And if you think about it, that's a real hitter-friendly ballpark. Everybody who goes in there has the same advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Their win total is their projected win total is 83.
Okay.
My models put the Phillies anywhere. My computer models put the Phillies anywhere between like 84 and like 81 and a half.
Okay.
So, that's both over and under, which freaking sucks. I mean, like, I just say Philadelphia is a really tough place to play. Regardless of basketball, baseball, football, is a tough place to play.
Yep.
And being in the NL East, where it's pretty top heavy as well, where the Mets and the Braves are almost, and the Phillies, you can combine the Phillies in there, but there's a lot of good teams. And like I said, they're probably in a split series with each other just because the way these teams just fight and battle.
Right.
So I think I like 83. If we had to bet, they won 82 games last year. I'd probably, if you had to bet, I'd probably say over.
Yeah, I like the over as well. I wrote an article about a week or two ago, and I had them going over as well.
But only it's going to be real close. It's going to be one of those nail biters. You're going to be on your edge of your seat in that last week of the season, and it's going to be at 83 wins for like 4 games, and then the last 3 games it's going to get to 84, and then it's going to get to 85, and then that last game is going to be a nail biter. It's what's going to happen.
It's going to be an absolute sweat. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're going to be holding that ticket tight in late September. You're going to be like, let's go fighting Phils, baby. Let's get this over. But I like it. I'll be right there with you.
Exactly. The Phillies are fun that way.
Yeah.
And then 4th place, we have the Marlins. I like to call them the National League's most spicy team.
Spicy, all right.
They are young and full of potential. Their 67 and 95 finish the last season felt like the biggest improvement we've seen in baseball, with only winning 67 games. They have the 4th best farm system, or no, last year they had the 4th best farm system. And now those prospects are up in the bigs. They added Jorge Soler.
That's a huge bat.
Huge bat.
That's 30 home runs right there, probably, right?
At least 35, I'm thinking. 30, maybe even 40. That's a big stadium, but still.
Yeah.
Then you have Avisaya Garcia, who is a White Sox, a Brewer.
Yep.
He is a guy as well, just a solid bat, high average.
Yeah.
It turns their outfield into an immediate threat. They have, obviously it's not what it used to be in Ozuna, Yelich, Stanton.
Right. They made some horrible trades in their history.
But I think I like the direction the team is going. I like Jazz Chisholm.
Guy's got some swagger.
He was a D-back as well. He was they have their GM really knows what she's doing. Also, I'm very happy that Derek Jeter is finally
out
of that organization. He did not do anything good for them.
Seems like he made it worse.
Yes.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, retrospect.
Yeah.
You have Alcantara, who is a baller, chucks. If he can be the ace that he can be, they have some middle of the order 2, 3, 4 rotation guys who can chuck. You have Pablo Lopez as well. And, if they figure it out, if they can get in a groove, they're projected to win 76 games.
Yeah. And I think they will if Sandy's a dark horse Cy Young Award winner. So I think if he pitches well, I think they can get there.
I think, if you wanted to bet the over, I wouldn't be upset with you. It would be really frustrating to root for them because they're going to have a lot of ugly games. They're also going to have a lot of fun games where they're beating teams that they shouldn't be beating in situations that where you have maybe they're playing the Yankees, right? And Garrett Cole's in the bump, and they'll put a 5 spot on him in the first inning just for fun.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably lose the game 6-5. But I mean, that's a Marlins game. So if you want to bet the over, have fun. It's going to be a fun season. And if you wanted to bet the under, I'd bet the under too, but probably not a lot of money. I'd probably put more money on the over than I would on the under for 76.
So you're leaning over by a touch?
I don't know if I'm leaning over.
What's the model say?
The model says probably under. 76 is a ton of wins.
Yeah, it's a tough division too.
Tough division. And given that they won 67 on what was considered like a good season for them, I think that 76 is a lot of wins. But, either bet's going to be one of those fun bets. Betting Marlins futures is tough. If you're going to bet a Marlins game, bet a Marlins game.
It gives you a reason to watch the Marlins, I guess, and cheer for them.
Yeah, that's why you would watch the Marlins, to bet the game. But don't bet the season, because then you're going to have to watch the season. And then nobody wants to watch a Marlins season.
All right. Yeah, I've had enough of them. I think, I leaned over there, but I don't know. Yeah, that's tough, man, especially in that division. But I can see them picking up wins on like late Saturday afternoon games in August and September when like everyone else needs it. But the Marlins will just grind them out and get a win or something.
And then we rounded out with the mighty Nats.
With your curly W's.
My curly Dubs. Only 3 years removed from the World Series. And that team looks completely different. You have some key pieces like Anibal Sanchez coming back. You have Gerardo Baby Shark Parra. You have Steven Strasburg, who is hurt all the time. And although they're taking him slowly and they're gearing him up to be able to pitch later in the season, you have to think that he's just one like bad pitch away from being out for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you have Patrick Corbin, who seems to have refound himself because he said he was overthrowing his slider, which caused for a lot of issues last year. Because Patrick Corbin had a coming out party. He had a really good season in his last year with the D-backs. And then in his first year with the Nats, he did really well too. And then in the last 2 years, he's kind of fallen off. Yeah. So he said he was overthrowing his slider. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that means and if he actually has changed anything or if it's all just that preseason talk. Like, we've come back strong, better, bigger, better, faster, and stronger.
Boys are healthier than ever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Like, they did add some power. Right?
They picked up Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz this offseason, who seems to be an ageless wonder. Mm-hmm. They have Josh Bell. And they got Maikel Franco.
Right.
I think a combination of those 3 guys with Juan Soto, you give Victor Robles you get him in the defense, saving you runs galore. I think, and they brought back Doolittle.
Oh yeah.
It feels like the Nats are trying to just bring people back into the stadium. But I think that watching the Nats this year will be mostly sad.
I think it's going to be under 52 and a half times happy or whatever it was at 50. What is that? 60 something?
It's at 68 and a half right now.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be, oh man, I can't even do math right now. I think it's going to be 93 times sad when they come to the ballpark.
Yeah. I think they're going to lose more. I think they're going to win less than 68 and a half games.
I do as well.
I think Juan Soto is an MVP, but because his team is going to be garbage, he's not going to win the MVP. I mean, he might. It's going to be one of those years. It would have to be one of those years where there's nobody else who's really doing anything. And Juan Soto is just head over heels better.
Yeah.
Like betting on this season total, like truthfully, like I think they're gonna go under, but just to stay positive for a second, just to stay positive.
Yeah.
There's a chance that we see the Cy Young candidate Strasburg back. There's a chance we see Josh Bell be the Josh Bell from that year with the Pirates, where he took the league by storm.
Yeah.
There's a chance that we see 45 home run a year Nelson Cruz. There's a chance that we see Maikel Franco in the same Maikel Franco from the first couple weeks that he came onto the scene when he was crazy good.
There's a
chance, there's a chance that all this happens.
We got to play the game.
There's a chance I get struck by lightning. There's a chance I get eaten by a shark.
It's right. It's it's unlikely, but there's still a chance.
There's a chance. And it was like 19 and 30 something. It was the Nats were back like 16 games and then came back to win the World Series. And, there's a chance. There's always a chance.
Well, we'll leave you with that chance. Let's, you want to finish up with these awards?
Yeah, let's do it.
Anything else to talk about the Nationals, or are you good there?
No, absolutely not. They lost Wander Suero, which is sad. He was a really good bullpen arm, but their bullpen's always going to be atrocious.
Their bullpen looks terrible, bro. With all
they never restock their bullpen, and when they do, it's always like last ditch effort, and it's always like these Mike Rizzo has this theory of we're going to get guys and we're going to expect them to play like the back of their baseball card, which means that we're going to pinpoint their best year. Yeah. And we're going to ask them to play like that.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
And, it's doesn't happen. It's just sometimes it does, but not going to happen when you won the World Series with the oldest roster in the league. Mm-hmm. What makes you think bringing those guys back who are already really old will help?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And you know what? You want to know what makes the Nats even worse?
What's that?
If you were to guess where their farm system ranked, given how bad they are, where would you put them?
Well, I'll go ahead and guess 23rd.
Well, 27th.
27th?
Yeah. You would think that a team as bad as the Nats would have a better farm system. Just so that, there's some promise in the background. Nope. Yeah. Nope. They have some pitchers who are decent, but one of their pitchers one of their young pitchers has Rookie of the Year odds, but they're so crazy that you'd have to be a lunatic to bet them. The only teams with worse farm systems, the Phillies, the A's, and the White Sox.
Oh, man. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder what the A's plan is. I guess we'll get into that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow for sure. But my candidates for the National League.
Let's start with MVP.
Yeah, MVP. I have Soto at plus 280. I have a couple. So if you want to take either of these, I'd feel you should feel confident in taking these. So
okay,
plus 280 Soto and Harper at plus 900. What about you?
I'm with you on Harper. He's my favorite one at plus 900. And then I got Trey Turner plus 1,400, so 14-1.
That is a really good one.
Trey Turner, I feel like he's going to get a lot of he's going to be at the top of the order. He's probably going to hit, 290 at least?
At least. Probably like 310.
Probably
he hit like 340 last season.
Holy smokes. Yeah, so he's going to hit at least 300.
Yeah.
I mean, the RBI numbers obviously won't be there since he'll be leadoff, but he's probably going to score a lot of runs. He's going to be on base.
With the DH.
Yeah.
You never know.
He's going to swipe some bags.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he doesn't have those – he's not going to have the flashy home run and RBI numbers, but he's going to be right there. He might win – he'll be up there with the batting title for sure.
Yeah. Who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
For Rookie of the Year, I am going with – I know I'm going to say this wrong – Saya Suzuki, the Cubs outfielder they just brought over from Japan.
Ooh,
he's plus 380.
That is a good one.
And I'm going with that solely based on – I think he was tied for the favorite, but I think I'm just going just based on – I've seen him drop some bombs in spring training. So,
that is
wind blowing out in Wrigley in the heat of the summer. He's going to hit some dongs up there in Chicago.
I hope so.
so.
He's on one of my fantasy teams. But for my Rookie of the Year picks, I have Joey Bart at plus 900, which seems like a steal.
Oh, that's your guy in the Giants, correct?
Yeah, my guy in the Giants.
Behind the dish?
Plus 900 seems like way too good of odds for that type of race. It seems like the NL race is a lot shorter than the AL race.
There's some bigger guns in the AL, right? You're saying?
Yeah, but I also have it's either good. So I have either Joey Bart at plus 900, or I have Hunter Green at plus 1,000. I think either of those guys for those odds are really good, are good bets.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Hunter Green does. That'll be interesting because that division's not too strong, so he could probably slide in there and perform well right out of the
exactly. And then that whole division is looking. It needs a pitching ace, and granted they have the Brewers, but that's it.
Yeah.
So, that's my Rookie of the Year, and then my Cy Young for the National League. I think that's going to be crazy. I'll list off all the guys who I think it would be safe to bet, and
sure.
I'll give you my favorite after. But okay. These are all the guys who, if you wanted to bet these guys for Cy Young, I think it's okay. So first, I have Scherzer at plus 600. If he can stick it out for the season, he's going to be the number one guy in New York for the first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then DeGrom's going to come back and just support him. And it's going to be insane. His stuff last year was good, the year before, and I think that his stuff continues to be good. You have Logan Webb out of San Francisco.
Yep.
At plus 1,600, who dark horse candidate, but I think San Francisco is one of those teams who they have the pitching. They have the pitching coach, and it's very pitcher-friendly ballpark. So you could see either Webb or Rodon getting that
Yeah, I wrote on too.
I have Urias at plus 2,500 with the Dodgers. I think, although Buehler is the guy, I think that this is the year that you see Urias step into the guy position.
Okay.
He's so young, and he's only been developing, and each year he gets better, and he gets exponentially better each year. So
he does. He's always improving.
So if we're gonna say my favorite, I'll just give it to you. I think Urias at plus 2,500 is probably my favorite. Then you have Morton at plus 4,500, who's Morton's always a stud. He was a Cy Young candidate with the Rays.
Yeah.
And I think if you put him in Atlanta for a full season after the leg break, I think you're gonna have really good chance.
Yeah,
and then
see him play.
My dark horse, and I think we talked about it briefly, but Steven Matz at plus 9,000.
Okay.
If you can get those odds right now, you would barely have to bet anything, and you would win a fortune if that was right. And I think
90-1.
I think that with the Cardinals, they have the potential to produce a Cy Young.
Yeah.
They have the defense and they have the relief to give your starters the wins and to keep the team in the game.
Right.
So I think that if Steven Matz is in the conversation at the time, I think there's a very good chance.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
What about you?
Now the two I have here, my favorite is Walker Buehler. I think he's due. The guy continues to really ramp it up over the first few years of his career. Pretty apparent that he's kind of taken over that number one spot in the rotation over Clayton. Kershaw is going to slide over, let Buehler get in there, and he's going to be the guy that's going in game one of the playoffs. And, he's just been a workhorse. He's one of those guys that goes 7 innings, 8 innings, 8 1/3, gives up 1 or 2 runs. So that's my favorite bet for the Cy Young. Other one I liked is maybe Manaea coming down from the A's over to the Padres. He was plus 2,200. Could be worth a shot. I don't know. I don't have too much to say on that. I just figured it's worth a shot. If the Padres are going to be trying to compete for the playoffs, then they're going to need him to be at his best.
Yeah.
Throughout the season. So that'll be interesting to see.
It will be interesting.
But yeah, I love the Buehler one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I like Buehler. I just don't like those odds.
You wish there were more?
I wish if you got Buehler at 1,600, I'd love it.
Yeah. Yeah, plus 900. That's what, third highest?
Yeah, I mean,
behind Scherzer and Corbin Burns.
Exactly.
No love for Corbin Burns from us.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. All right, bro. Well, I think that should do it for us for this evening, correct?
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, thank you guys for listening, for staying with us. Hope you guys continue to tune in, get our best bets, and stick with us tomorrow when we give you the American League.
Hell yeah. This Between the Chalk episode 1. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.